We are Blair and Celia. We live in the Sierra Nevada mountains of California, where we love to mountain bike and hike in the summer. We love the snow and we love to Nordic ski and backcountry ski in the winter. We own a Beneteau Oceanus 423 sailboat that we keep in the San Francisco Bay Area, where we sail locally. We love to explore this beautiful world, and one of the ways we do that is by chartering sailboats.
All right, so we are getting ready to depart. We're going to be sailing with our local yacht club down to Halfmoon Bay from the Point Richmond area. The actual distance the boat will go is around 45 statute miles, somewhere around 40 to 41 nautical miles. And we are excited to be getting out. Wow, it's a gorgeous morning in Point Richmond, and we are just getting ready. Here is our girl. She just recently got buffed and waxed, and kind of a new addition. Celia installed for us the paddleboard carrier. So we're going to bring 2 boards down to Halfmoon Bay. We just got the tow rail sanded too, so that looks beautiful. And then you can also see our new bimini and connector in addition to the Dodger. So the cockpit is much better protected than before. And so you can see we've got great coverage now inside the cockpit. Ridiculously pleasant day for San Francisco Bay. Not usually this quiet and calm. So we should have a pretty easy go of it. We may not have enough wind to get the sails up. We'll just have to see. So we are coming out, and there is our yacht club area. We're in a marina farther back over that way. And there is Celia through the bimini back there on the helm.
We just left the marina, and we're headed down Potrero Reach, almost to the bay. Like that little old lady that can't see over the steering wheel. The problem is if I stand, then I have to go like this.
I'll have to hunt for a booster seat for you.
I could do this.
Wow, what
exercise.
I was going to say, what great exercise.
Okay, we've left Point Richmond behind.
We have.
And this is our second cruise where we go out the gate.
Woohoo! All right.
And it's been a couple years ago since we did that. And we were hoping to have a little more crew, but it's just the 2 of us again. And not much wind today though, so we may not actually sail. We may just motor.
Indeed, it may make more sense just to motor.
But swells are low, so hopefully no seasickness.
All right, so there's Angel Island behind me, looking beautiful. And then if we curve around, we can start to see one of the spans of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Okay, we're almost to the gate. Sausalito. So back over in here is where Fort Baker is. We love to, when we're staying in Sausalito, we love to walk to there. It's just a couple of miles to get there. And then there's a great fishing platform here that has great views of the Golden Gate. There's also a marina and a small yacht club there.
All right, we're starting to feel just a little bit of swell from the mighty Pacific. And you can see Celia's swimming back here. She may get wet soon, hopefully not. gorgeous. Back, all the way back to San Francisco. Okay, we just went through the gate. Gorgeous, gorgeous day. Wow. Really lucked out on such a pleasant day today. And that's looking over toward Point Lobos, which is the southern point. Alright, Celia's got her Fowley pants on and she's going into kind of rest mode when we start getting a little bit of swell.
My favorite part of sailing.
You like a lot of fun. And then that should be the Point Bonita lighthouse. And then look at the Marin headlands. It's interesting how they're pretty stark. But you know, they get hammered by a lot of weather. And then looking back to the gorgeous and iconic Golden Gate Bridge. Okay, so we are out of the main shipping lane now. There is a good sized ship coming in. Looks like it's probably one that is filled with cars. So it's a little bit shallower as you come out the gate, and we were right at maximum ebb, but it was a very low ebb current today, combined with, as you can see, now that we're getting further away from the area that's bumpy, this is very flat for the Pacific. We've got a little bit of swell coming from the northwest. I think that had a 9-second period. And then we have swell from the south at just 2 feet. That's at a 13-second period. But the result is that it's going to be pretty darn calm today. It sure is gorgeous though. What a blessing to be out enjoying God's incredible creation here. You can see some of San Francisco behind me back there. And we are 2.5 hours from our slip. We've gone right around 20 nautical miles or so. Have around probably just slightly over 20 to go. And this is very unusual to get, I guess not that unusual, but this is a very nice calm day. Okay, first we are looking back at Pacifica, and the rocky stuff in the middle is Point San Pedro. Been coming across, Double Slide is in there. Now a tunnel goes through there. And then Montara Peak, there's a north and south and a knob. And then the little town of Montara. And then that is Pillar Point. And hallelujah, the Pillar Point Marina is just around the corner and then tucked back in. So we're getting pretty close. All right, my dear, how's the trip been? Dan, we're almost 4 hours into it.
Yeah, just sleepy from the boating.
Yeah,
It's pretty mild.
Mild seasickness?
Well, hardly any at all. Just when I went down below to the bathroom.
Yeah, that can always
It
be
got
a
little rough
challenge,
then, yeah.
especially the first couple of days out. Yeah, it's been beautiful, and this is about as gentle as the Pacific tends to get around here.
Yeah,
This is like Southern California Pacific.
yeah. Although sometimes that's been even rough, so.
Yeah, indeed. Getting close. We're probably under an hour to our slip. We've already called in, and they're super nice. Set up a good slip for us, and we'll be tying on the starboard side in a little under an hour. Yay! All right, we're going past a buoy that's marking kind of Montara. You can see we're passing it there. And once you pass that buoy, buoy number 26, you're getting pretty close. Here are some of the homes in the Montara area that are more up on the bluff. And then just coming right up, there is Pillar Point, and that's the point that protects the Pillar Point Harbor. And you see we have to go around those nasty rocks to starboard, so we'll be hooking around a buoy that marks and keeps us well safe from those rocks. And there is Pillar Point. Okay, this is Pillar Point buoy number 1, and it really marks the point. You have to stay far offshore because of the mavericks, the rocks and breaks. There's the little cute town of El Granada. This is where Pillar Point Harbor is. This will really show what a wide turn we take. There's Pillar Point way to the north now. The harbor and marina is in there, and we're still going way down here to one last buoy. This is Pillar Point 3 buoy, and then we'll turn hard to port and head in toward the marina. Alright, here's our girl, and we're safe and sound. It took just a little over 5 hours. Yay, we made it! So here we are at Pillar Point. This is the harbor master's office. Alright, got our paddleboards there. We're gonna go out paddleboarding in just a little while. So a nice spacious cockpit. And then, this is pretty cool. This is our view. We're right next to the end-tie. Look at all of these pelicans. The whole wall, everywhere you look, is coated this thick. That is really something. Wow. Those are where the Cal 20s are, on all those little docks off of Halfmoon Bay Yacht Club. They all have colored sails. And then this is some of our group from Richmond Yacht Club. Empty yesterday, Friday, but here we are on Saturday, and the fish trap is really busy. The line just keeps going past the back of those cars.
We went out paddleboarding yesterday. Didn't get that on video, but we got it on video last time we were here.
That was wonderful.
Where are we going now, honey?
We're gonna walk southeast. We'll go past El Granada proper, Miramar, and then to Halfmoon Bay.
Yeah.
This great little kayak and paddleboard rental place. We even got some bikes. And we rented from them 2 years ago when we sailed down, and it was great. I really liked actually the paddleboard they rented. And now we're going to join the walking trail. That big metal boat that has a little sailboat rafted on, and then on the other side of it, you can see a little bit of blue through there. That's our boat back in. Actually, you can see our paddleboards. I see them. Yeah, we're getting bombed. Flag there means small craft warning today, which is a combination of wind and swell. Is that over?
Oh, I never dreamed it would be this warm. I would have brought like a light long sleeve shirt to protect my arms, but all I brought was like warm stuff.
Okay, so we're still near Pillar Point. We're just southeast of the harbor. And when they created the harbor, it turns out they inadvertently messed up Sand and Surfers Beach. So it needs sand replenishment. So from dredging operations, they bring the sand over and just move it over. But yeah, that's Surfers Beach. Alright, so this is the Bach Dancing and Dynamite Society. This is where my older sister, Deb, and her husband, Bill, got married on August 17th, 1985. So just over 40 years ago, they just celebrated their 40th anniversary.
Okay, walking along here, we've seen a couple of galleries. Here's the Niwot Gallery, which is for local artists, and has, I guess, quite a variety of items to see.
Pretty. This is called the Ocean Studio, an alliance of artists, writers, and filmmakers working together to nurture a deeper empathy and understanding for the natural world. Along this coastal trail along Halfmoon Bay, you go across a lot of drainages, so there will be these bridges, but this is a really long one, and you can see there's a lot of foliage even growing over the top. Hearing that you can horseback ride, or apparently Segway ride. Well, look at that, horse ride right near Halfmoon Bay. It's pretty cool. He's showing us a little bit for the camera. Wow. Yeah, beautiful. Look at that.
Thank you.
That is really cool.
Good job. Thank you. Okay, Blair cannot resist a piano that says, "Play me."
That one says play me too.
little house, and look at the beautiful garden. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. Such a very, look at the little birdies up here too.
That was a fun one.
And the frog fishing in the boat.
Stop at the Moonside Cafe and Bistro here in Halfmoon Bay.
So we just had the boat washed and buffed, and the birds thought that was pretty funny because look what they did.
This is pretty darn cool. Here are all the pelicans lined up on the rock, and we are heading out just after 8 a.m. All right, my dear, we made it.
Yeah, the poop mobile is on its way.
Yeah, we got a lot of poop. I got some of it off, and our dear Jorge will help us get more of it off when we get back with a light pressure wash.
Did you have a good weekend, honey?
Oh my gosh, it was a great weekend. Holy smokes.
There's like probably a half a dozen or so people out here on kayaks fishing this morning, kind of in the direction we need to go.
Yeah, we got down to 10 feet on that. So we are going back now. It's Monday, September 1st. You can see it's a very different type of day. We were very blessed on the way down. We had ridiculously flat seas for the Pacific Ocean. Today's a little bit more normal. Today's still on the lighter side, 3 to 5 foot swells, combination of northwest swell and south swell. But you can see it's pretty foggy yet, so you don't see a whole lot. We must be going against a bit of a current today. We're only making a little over 5 knots, whereas we averaged about 7 knots coming down. So we'll see how that goes. It can change around in different places. My dear sweetie is focusing on the horizon. This is probably a little more normal. You can see we can't see the coastline at all. We're about 2.5 miles offshore. And right now, with the naked eye, we cannot even see a single another boat anywhere. It's sure worth adding, thank goodness for GPS. So I have a chart plotter on the helm, have a chart plotter down below at the navigation station. They're both Ray Marine Axiom 9 chart plotters. And then on my cell phone I run Navionics. I have the large size screen iPhone. I actually use it the most. It's just so easy to see and so quick and easy to blow up and make smaller. But yeah, if you know, before the late 90s, the Department of Defense had the GPS system turned off to civilians. I forget which year it came on. I think it was 97 or 98 in the summer. All of a sudden, I had a GPS unit, but it was, off by a fair ways. Still usable, but then all of a sudden it was accurate, like within a few feet. Whoa, there's a big one. Whoa, boy. But yeah, before that you just have to do dead reckoning, meaning once you're out of the harbor and you're past those buoys, and you would know the coordinates, or not the coordinates, the bearings, compass bearings to get to those buoys. After you leave the number 26, you would just have to dead reckon your way to the ship channel at San Francisco. It'd be pretty easy. You just have to stay on the bearing. You have to keep your speed constant and then measure your time. And basically that's a lot of how you would figure out where you are on the charts. And you'd have to run down and mark with pencil, mark your spot on the chart periodically. So a lot more complicated, and of course nowhere near as accurate as GPS. So hallelujah for this. So this is kind of cool. You can see up at like 11 o'clock, you see two boats there, and those are now 1.25 miles and 1.5 miles away. Right now each ring is half a mile, and then it's starting to clear up and you can see them. There are the two fishing boats that we're seeing on the radar. There's also a sailboat that we're seeing that's about 1 mile ahead of us. That was showing up on the radar too. We're in the very outer reaches of the Golden Gate. That is Point Richmond to the north. We're still rolling around. There's dear Celia hanging in. And this big marker thing marks the mile rocks. And then it gets a little confusing, but this point is called Point Lobos, the same name as the Point Lobos up by Carmel. So that looks like one of the bases of the Golden Gate Bridge. Notably, you don't see the tower or the deck at all. It just almost looks like there's no bridge there. Here comes a good-sized vessel coming out, and you can see the base of the tower, and you do start to see some of the deck, but you still don't see a lot of the Golden Gate Bridge. Alright, there is the Golden Gate Bridge showing up partially. After 5 days on our dear sailboat, we treated ourselves to a last evening before we head back home in the mountains to a hotel in Tiburon. Looking at the more gentrified sailing this evening. Pretty calm out there. It's still a bit of wind, and great view of the city. And the water just comes lapping right up to the edge of Tiburon. Sometimes we hike up into the hills, but we're both pretty tired after sailing back from Halfmoon today, so just had a nice relaxing dinner, and we'll probably call it good pretty soon here.
In a future video, we will be taking a road trip to the Pacific Northwest through the California redwoods, along the beautiful Oregon coast, and up into Washington state.